Hey guys, welcome back to Screen Syndicates. My name is Anthony and that's Pate. Today we are breaking down The Boys Season 5, Episode 5. We're going to start off with some spoiler-free thoughts, quick brief review, and then we're going to get into it, talk spoilers, theories, thoughts. We're going to get into it all. Pate, how we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's been a long day for both of us. We're shooting this a little late, but happy to talk about it and pick your brain and see what your thoughts are on this episode.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, first, I want to start off with a screw you to Amazon. I opened up Amazon Prime yesterday and The Boys is number one, a new episode. And then Invincible was number two, and it had the new episode sign on it. And for a
No,
second, I'm like, oh, are they hitting this or something? And I clicked in, and then no. So I just wanted
damn.
to get that off my chest. I don't know why it still says new episode. It's been a week, but I just had to get that off my
True, and of
chest.
course it's like Wednesday, the same day that they were coming out with new episodes. I feel like they knew what they were
Yeah.
doing,
And
trying to
honestly,
clickbait.
did you miss Invincible this week?
That's a good question. Damn, it's actually like a love hate relationship with it. Just with
Mhm.
The Boys and Invincible, great shows. It was phenomenal watching both of them in one day, but it's like kind of a lot to unpack and remember. It was
True.
phenomenal, but in the aspect of shooting a podcast after, I feel like it was a lot. Yes, I know we're shooting a podcast. It's not that hard, but I don't know. It was
Yeah.
kind of draining, two episodes back to back, and then the podcast. So I'm excited to just like one episode we get to really deep dive into it instead of like knowing we're gonna talk about Invincible and The Boys.
I I agree. That's a great point. I do miss watching Invincible, but it was nice to just have one thing to lock in on
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I was also Daredevil's coming out on Wednesday, or Tuesday nights, Wednesdays too, and that show was really good. So it was just a lot. But either way, let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
Episode 5, spoiler-free thoughts. What did you think, Pay? What is your rating for this episode?
Oh, I am at that 8.5 is where I'm sitting at because I liked it. I think they did a lot of like different things that we haven't seen yet in The Boys, just with the way they shot the episode. And it was like cool getting these storylines that we really haven't got before. So I kind of liked it. I had a lot of laughs. It was pretty fucking funny of an episode. So I did enjoy it quite a bit.
I'm pretty similar. I gave it an 8. Um, the different perspectives they shot the episode in, super interesting the way they did it. I liked how they had like a starting point and then they branched off of each, giving you each character's perspective. The comedy in this episode, I think there was a moment in this episode where I genuinely laughed harder than any other moment in The Boys.
Yeah.
And there's memes of it everywhere, so you'll probably see it all over your feeds everywhere. But that was great. There was some good cameos this episode, some good action. Only criticism I'd have is two things, actually two criticisms.
Hmm.
They kind of align. Lack of the boys characters, like the actual boys group, their story, and then two, just the advancement of the plot. Um, we'll get into it more with spoilers, but I'm a little worried about the pacing. I'll be honest.
That's very fair because that's probably why I'm at an 8.5 too, because of that exact reason. Because one,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get to see like essentially the star of the show. And how do they speed it up in three or what is it? Yeah, three more episodes.
We have 3 hours left.
Yeah, there's gotta be a lot in these next 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where we're at on that. So now, official spoiler warning. And if you saw this clip on any social media, come join us. Screen Syndicates, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Uh, but the getting into it, spoilers, full spoilers. We're gonna break this episode down by each storyline. So to start off, we get this Democratic Church of America, the Homelander Bible, written by AI. Soldier Boy's like, what the hell? He has no idea. And there was one funny line that also made me laugh, where he dropped right away, where he talked about who gives a fuckistan.
Yeah.
Uh, that was good. That was good.
It
But
was.
we dive into, to start off, the firecracker storyline. So Pete, when you saw that, when you get that cut to Firecracker, were you intrigued? Did you want to see more? And then what did you think of her storyline overall?
Yeah, for a second I thought it was a flashback. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw her like in the
So did I.
different fit, I thought she looked like a lot younger than I realized she's just like in a disguise. I I guess I really didn't care that much about Firecracker's story. Like she's not the most intriguing character to me. Do I think it was necessary? Not really, especially with how the way the episode ended. Like I feel like they were more doing the actor a favor before saying you're fired of like giving her this extra spotlight because I really don't think it was too necessary, especially with how it ended for her later that episode.
Yeah, I was shocked overall on how big of a character um, she became in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to give a shout out to, I think her name is Valerie Curry. She did kill it this episode. She absolutely murdered her role in this episode. Question for you.
Yeah.
What is her power?
Ooh, that's a great question. Doesn't she just do like a snap of her finger and it's like sparklers or something or sparks? I feel like I remember
Because
seeing that last season, I think.
because I'll be honest, I have no clue. I have no clue what her power is.
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I really don't know. I'm taking a guess on that one.
She's part of the set. That's why I asked you because I was like, does Pete know? Because I have no clue. I
That's
have
so
zero
funny. I really didn't even think about that till you mentioned that right now. I'm like, damn, that's a great question. I really don't even know.
Or I guess her power was her podcast. But
Yeah.
so
Truth Social, or no, not Truth Social, Truth Bomb.
Truth Bomb. I think Truth Social
Let's
is that the
just,
real one.
yeah, that is the real one.
But so we get her storyline, and it was slightly intriguing. Again, I don't think it's in episode 5 of the final season of The Boys, that I need 20 minutes of this story. No.
Mhm.
But her storyline was pretty intriguing, of the dilemma between her being religious and trying to appease Soldier Boy of his new religion. And the conversation with the Reverend and all that. And then I thought she was gonna fold and like go back, but I was shocked. She went on talking about her hometown church, like he's a pedo, all that. Did you expect that to happen?
No, I actually thought she was gonna fold too, especially like when it kept zooming in on her face and she's
Mhm.
like stuttering and not sure what to say at first. Like you can see that there's a discomfort there, and then she just
Yeah,
pulls the trigger and goes with it. And I was like, damn, it really made me like kind of lose all respect for the character. I didn't have much to begin with,
100%.
but I was like, damn, this person that like essentially raised you and looked after you and even tried to check on you because he knew stuff was getting bad and you like lied to him and then just turned your back on him.
I agree. I honestly, looking back, we'll talk about her death later on as it's the end of the episode. But it would have made her death more gratifying if she did like defend her church,
Yeah,
and like that's
absolutely.
how she went down. But that was that. And then we get a little bit of the pillow talk between her and Soldier Boy. And Soldier Boy asking, "Did you nut?" That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Soldier Boy's little dilemma on is he Joseph? He calls
Yeah.
himself like a cuck. That was great. But that was pretty much that whole storyline until the end. Is there anything else you want to talk about Firecracker before we'll talk about her ending? But
No, I think you nailed it, and I think you're so right. If she did actually go against Homelander when she had the chance on her podcast or her show, I think it would have made the ending 10 times better, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. So then the next character we get a background on is Black Noir, which I found this one interesting because Black Noir is kind of one of the main characters. Obviously, it's a different Black Noir, but
Yeah,
we don't really know anything about him. So we get the whole premise of he's pissed at Deep, he's an actor, and I loved seeing the old director.
yeah,
I forgot his name, but that character makes me laugh every time. And what did you think of that storyline? Just him being an actor, him versus Deep, that back and forth.
I thought that was actually better than the Firecracker one, just because
Mhm.
Black Noir's been such like a he's been a character in every season. Obviously, not quite the same one that we're seeing in season 5, but to see him, like to see his actual like human self, essentially, like and stuff that he cares about, and obviously they kind of hinted at that he was an actor with how like his method acting, where he doesn't talk and
Mhm.
he doesn't like break character. So I thought that was cool to do it. A deep dive into it and then really see like how much him and Deep are button heads.
Yeah, one thing I would love to know is how powerful is he? Because he said he could fly, which I was surprised by. Like, what is his power scale? That's maybe we'll see it in the next couple episodes.
Uh-huh.
But do you think Noir will be the one to kill Deep?
Dude, I kind of really hope so. I think you kind of need that because I feel like Deep everybody's kind of has thought
Yeah.
he's an asshole or hates him at some point, whether it was season 1 or right now. Like there's no way you have respect for this character. So I think it'd be so gratifying having him Black Noir cuz he's the most recent person that's gotten
Mhm.
screwed over by him.
Yeah. So then, yeah, the eel. Well, first before that, it was a great scene. So his character name, I wrote it down. Oh, Father, the priest.
Yeah.
So when he goes on the podcast, Noir talks, and he's like, he could talk, but it was a great idea by Noir to have Homelander perform a miracle on him and heal him. I think they should explore that a little bit in the next couple episodes.
Absolutely. Like as soon as he said that, I was like, "Damn, that is a great idea. That's how you could really
Yeah.
really sell it." And then you could see like obviously the Deep getting super pissed off that
Yeah.
he's gonna get Homelander's attention. It's probably gonna make Homelander super happy because he's like, "Oh, that's a great idea." And
Yeah.
Deep, I feel like only is like that to him because he feels like he's the only person he's kind of above in the
100.
ranking. So he feels like he can bully Noir. But if roles reverse, Deep's gonna be screwed.
A million percent. Then the Deep gets revenge with the electric eel up the director's ass. That was pretty good. Uh and that I think that wraps up their storyline. Deep calls him out, or he calls out the Deep.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you want to dive in with Noir? I think that I don't think I'm missing anything
No,
else.
the only thing I did like was the scene where it was I forget the director's name, but where it was him and Black Noir going back and forth and like
Mhm.
talking about the Deep, and it's funny that the director didn't know he was also talking about the Deep. So it was just funny that interaction. Thought it was cool.
Yeah, he's like my side job. He's like quit your side job,
Yeah.
and but talking about the Deep together, that was perfect. That was a good way to put it. So then next we get Terror the dog. And this is the thing I was hinting at earlier. The first scene when Homelander bends over and says, "Do you want to fuck me?" I legit was laughing out loud.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. It made me laugh so hard.
No, 100%. It caught me off guard because I was not expecting it when it jumped into terror.
No, honestly, that would make me laugh hard, but I laughed even harder the second time when he had the turkey leg. That actually killed. Like I literally rewinded it and watched it again, and it's just to laugh again because I
That's
couldn't believe.
awesome.
Shout out to Anthony Starr,
Star,
I think is
yeah.
the actor's name, for him committing to the role. That is going to be an all-time meme going forward. Just
Hmm.
I couldn't believe that.
No, he crushes it, and he is not afraid to do like things that would make him feel uncomfortable. I imagine in person, and he
Yeah,
fucking kills it.
he did. So then we get the dog's perspective, which was not what I expected, but
Yeah,
it was our only insight to the boys, I guess. Um, the obviously he has his Homelander doll that he likes to hump and everything, but then we get some cool like character moments that again I don't know if they should be right now, but it kind of builds the character.
yeah.
Like you get accepting his like he's ready for death, and you get their perspective. You get Kimiko and Frenchie. You get Huey and Butcher. What do you think of all those dynamics? Was there anything that jumped out to you there?
I thought it was cool. It was kind of sad to like see. You could see like Frenchie and Kamiko like slowly like breaking apart. Obviously, they kind of just are essentially friends with benefits because their picture of their future lives don't align at all. So that
Yeah,
was kind of sad to see them break up because obviously, or not break up yet, but like tearing apart because
they're
they've
just
been
not compatible.
exactly because they've been like so attached with each other since I don't know if it was season 1 or season 2 that they started to get a lot closer. And it was also sad seeing MM like that because MM's like kind of always been family. He's going to make sure everything he does is to make sure his family's safe. And for him to like think his family's already essentially screwed and that's why he's doesn't care if he lives or dies and why he's eating stuff off the floor after being a
Yeah,
OCD clean freak. So I thought that was a really cool way to show kind of where he's at mentally.
yeah. No, that is a good point. And you know what that really nails for me is I think they're toast. I think MM and Frenchie are dead. I think I don't see that. I think they're kind of building it to where they have no ties left in the world, so they can full on sacrifice for the bigger mission.
That's yeah, that's actually a great point. I didn't even think of it that way. That's probably exactly why they're doing that to set up a sacrifice or there somebody's gonna have to go into like essentially a suicide mission to do something for the boys for the greater good. That's a great
Because
point.
I think Kimiko survives because of the whole family aspect. I think Frenchie's toast. MM I think is toast too. So that was their storyline. I did find that really interesting. The one I found more interesting was Butcher versus Huey,
Hmm.
talking about burning the V1. And I love Butcher or Huey's line of "What if it was Becca?" And you really get to see Butcher. You see the good guy perspective in him of talk like you see him with the dog, the compassion, all that, and then he eventually concedes and says he's willing to give Huey some of the V1 to try to find a cure. So I found that really interesting.
Yeah, that was cool to see like because I feel like recently we haven't seen like good guy Butcher at all. So
Yeah,
it's cool to see that you can still see he's got a heart, especially even when Terror was he thought Terror was gonna die because of the chocolate, and then seeing
yeah,
him like super happy knowing that he's okay, and then Huey like even sees him doing that, and then Huey kind of realizes like no, there's definitely still some good in Butcher.
100%. The someone it was my buddy Jack or Jack, you know
Uh huh.
Jack. He brought up the point. He was confused a little bit because he thought at the end of season 4 that voice in his head, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, officially like took over
Yeah,
like his
actually.
and that was his evil persona. But then this season, he's been good guy Butcher. So I think that was a good point. It is a little confusing there.
That's true because even in season 4, like the voice in his head, he said like he was the only reason that he killed that one soup. I can't even think of his name, like the elastic dude
Yeah,
that he killed, and he was like, "I saved you. I did that." So I thought anytime he used like the tentacle powers, it was exactly like you said, essentially him taking over
hmm
and not really truly Butcher.
yeah. So that was intriguing, but that kind of wraps up pretty much all the stuff we got on the boys this episode. Which again is a little criticism of mine. I feel like those are our characters. We have 3 episodes left. I feel like I wanted a little more story progression there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because to think there's 3 episodes left, and we really didn't get anything to kind of progress the story of like the V1 or how they're gonna find it or how they're gonna
Yeah,
even stop Homelander. I think this episode
yeah.
would have been great, maybe at the very beginning of this season or even last season. I think it would have hit harder.
I think I agree with you. I think beginning of this season, that boys' perspective would have been good, but they're just chilling, waiting around. Like, what is their plan?
Yeah, exactly. Like we kind of got no time left.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And then, so then we get to some story progression. We get to Sage is the next storyline,
Hmm.
and you could tell she's out on Homelander, and you get her and Ashley, which was a dynamic I didn't expect, but I did enjoy. And
Yeah,
you get the conversation with Ashley, the back of her head, and you realize Sage is doesn't want Homelander to get the V1. She she wants she was questioning if Soldier Boy's on a side. Obviously we find that out later, but I liked hearing her backstory and just her perspective on being like the smartest person in the world. But we get her end game plan of she wants the virus out, she wants humans and soups to fight each other, the world to burn, and she wants to go chill and read a book. But the key is she needs Homelander to die. So what do you
Die.
think of that whole reveal?
I kind of thought it was a letdown, to be honest, because like with the smartest person in the world, like that's not the plan that I thought she would have had. I thought it would have been something a lot more like it's pretty devious, but I guess like more devious in a way if she wants power over everyone in the world, not peace and go sit back and read a book and watch everybody kill each other for peace. I thought it would have been like a lot bigger of a scale what she wanted to do essentially.
Mm-hmm. Man, I thought it'd be at least she obviously she didn't get into detail, but I thought being the smartest person in the world, she'd have it all laid out of exactly what she wanted.
Exactly.
She seems kind of out of control, like not in control. So it seems like Homelander is the real alpha right now, and he kind of plays all the cards.
Absolutely. He's definitely throwing like so many curveballs at her. And it's crazy because early, I think season 4, she was like, no, actually, this curveball, I want it to happen. It was part of my plan. And she said that like a couple times when things like went bad for the Seven. But then she was like, oh, that's actually part of my plan. So I'm kind of surprised that she doesn't have it all mapped out.
Yeah, no, that was true. But at least we're gonna get. I think she's gonna help the boys at some point. I think she's gonna join the boys' side, and I feel like Homelander's gonna kill her at some point.
Yeah, it's definitely getting set up for that for sure.
100%. And then we get the final character, Soldier Boy, and the intro to his was perfect. I didn't realize that him and the Deep haven't had any interaction at all. And just his first line to him was, "Do you want some knee pads?"
Yeah,
That was great.
that was perfect, especially for the Deep.
Yeah, especially. So then we get to you get to Soldier Boy, and he wants a crack at Stan Edgar, and I love how Edgar just insulted them right away. But first, I like the dynamic. It started off. This was good writing where there's that distrust between him and Homelander,
Mm-hmm.
and I get why Homelander doesn't trust him. And Soldier Boy said it, and we obviously find out later. But they know where Zoe is, so they threaten him, and he gives them Mr. Marathon. So they go to visit Mr. Marathon, and I was talking to Drew. Drew knows a little bit about him from the comics. I didn't realize
Mm-hmm.
anything about him. So he was replaced by A Train. He was the former fast guy. But one of the funniest little like shots slash cameos when they were talking about his movies and how he was not part of the VCU, he was part of the Sony
Yeah,
verse. And like they had like the pictures of the movie posters and they were direct like shots at across the Spider-Verse, Madam Web, Morbius.
yeah.
That was really cool how they mentioned that.
No, that was so awesome. They did such a great job. They do such a great job at tying in like real life to their show. It's actually so impressive. I don't think we've seen a show ever do it as well as The Boys has.
100%. And then we get the most like pop culture thing I think The Boys have ever done with all these cameos. I was so shocked when I saw Seth Rogen, Camille Nagiani, I think is his name. There was some other ones, I think Will Forte, but them just all sitting around talking like real people in the universe. I found that really interesting.
Did you check this where you clicked on the X-ray and it saw like Seth Rogen? Like
Yeah, I did.
they were playing themselves. I thought that was actually cool too. And it was so crazy to see all of them in there and sitting there having just a normal conversation back and forth.
Yeah, and some of the like pop culture references were so good. Like they were gonna post black squares, but we can't do that. Then they were just going through,
Yeah.
and just all the different name drops of the actors they turned in for being Starlighters, or I need this role. That was great.
Yeah. And when Homelander and Soldier Boy come down and they all come running up to him saying that, I turned in Channing Tatum. And Soldier Boy has no idea who that is. And he just stares at him. That was hilarious.
That was the I loved when Seth Rogan goes, "No, I actually hate weed. Like, I just do it for the character." That
Yeah.
was great. But
It-
then when they offered it to Homelander, that killed
yeah.
me.
It's like my life goal is to smoke you up, Homelander, and Homelander, let's get the fuck away from me or something.
I honestly thought for sure Homelander was just gonna like zap them all.
Me too,
I
dude. I
thought
was waiting for that the whole time.
I was waiting for the whole time, but then we get some of the story progression of they walk in. He's got the collection, the Nazi stuff. He looks at Stormfront. Clearly, there's some history there. I feel like they're gonna probably dive into that pretty deep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big point of contention. They're doing coke, but they find out Bomb Site has the V1,
Hmm.
and that they're like, okay, we're waiting for Bomb Site. And then I love the scene where they were talking shit and the Homelander catches them and he just slides in. I love
Yeah.
that shit because then Soldier Boy, I love that he's not intimidated. He just will bust balls right back.
Exactly, because he just knows he has enough power to stop Homelander, or at least put up a fight that he doesn't care.
Yeah,
His whole persona of like this nonchalant, like gonna kind of do whatever he wants. I love his character. I think Soldier Boy is awesome.
100%. Then we get like the big reveal. The gas guy gasses out Homelander. And I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, and it is true. Like the boys have been trying to figure out for 5 seasons how to knock this dude out.
Yeah,
And where the fuck was this guy the whole time?
for real.
Like,
2 seconds and he's knocked out, and that's that.
that's that. They had him. And I honestly didn't expect this, but I kind of liked the turn of Soldier Boy having his back. He goes, he's an asexual weirdo, but nobody fucks my son but me. That was great.
That was awesome. Such a Homelander thing to say, or
Yeah,
Soldier Boy thing to say.
100%. Then we get this big action scene of Soldier Boy running away and Marathon running through every single person. You get I think his name's Craig. I forgot the guy's name. He's upstairs
Uh huh.
and he just runs through everybody. That was great. Seth Rogen gets split in half. What'd you think of that whole scene?
Dude, I thought that was so funny. I thought that was awesome the way they shot it and did everything, especially when Soldier Boy is behind the wall with the two of them. He's like, "All right, you guys just gotta follow my lead. Follow my lead. Come on, come on!" And they run out and they just staring at him. He gets killed. And then
That is
Seth
great.
Rogen at the end, where he gets cut in half, and he's like, "Am I okay?" And he's like, "You're gonna be all right."
Have you been seeing the memes on Twitter? I've seen a lot of them of like Invincible. The Invincible page has been tweeting out like, "Don't worry, Seth Rogen has already shot his voice acting for season 5. He's gonna be there." And
No
there's
way.
like an RIP Seth Rogen was like trending, and that was pretty good. I
That's
loved
awesome.
like
I
the
didn't
whole
see that.
universe on Twitter and stuff. But they obviously everybody gets bodied. They use the baby oil to stop them, and then Homelander stops on his head. I want to ask you this: what do you think of the visual gore in The Boys? Like how they do it? Because sometimes it's CGI, sometimes it's like practical. What do you think of just their gore in this show?
I think it's really good, to be honest. I don't think it's like
Mm-hmm.
over the top of like a Saw or something where it's like you kind of feel like, oh my God. But I just think it's like a really good gore of like it just adds to the show. It's not too over the top for me. I think it's like just perfect in my opinion.
I agree, and I find it like I feel like The Boys has a unique like blood and gore
Yeah.
compared to like it's very boys and they keep it. It's been consistent throughout, but I like the explosion and all the blood and everything. I find it. There's definitely some CGI stuff where I'm like, I could tell it's CGI, but I
Uh-huh.
get why they do it because it makes it exaggerated.
And I feel like they do a great job of like show the gore for a second and then it's like a quick shot right away. Like they
Yeah,
don't stay on it for too long. It's something real quick and then it just goes away.
true, true. And then so we figure out bomb site, whoever super important. I have no idea who he is. I'm hoping they get like a cool actor to play him,
Yeah.
but he has the V1, so they're gonna go try to find him. And Soldier Boy and Homelander are now fully locked in together, which
That's
is
crazy.
super interesting. Yeah. He tells him that he's been fucking Firecracker, the pillow talk, and all that. And I think that was the big revelation of this episode is those two are locked in. And that's going to be a problem to stop.
Is that a issue for you? Because I'm trying to think of last episode. How did they leave off? Didn't they leave off on bad terms, or did I miss? Am I not remembering something from last episode?
Well, so obviously Soldier Boy like locked him in the thing with everything. But when Homelander came out, it was like the first vulnerable Soldier Boy we've seen where he was like, "Kill, you can just kill me right now." And it seems like they kind of bonded over that moment.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot that happened right at the end. But I feel like there would still be a little bit of bad blood, or like
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
that's where
know.
at the beginning of the episode they talked about the distrust, and that's where I was pretty surprised about the Soldier Boy like turn of loving Homelander, but I kind of love it, at least for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Their dynamic is definitely great, and it's so cool to see them like attack people now and fight together. Because just like that whole scene in that dude's house was awesome. Every part
It
of it, I
was.
loved it.
It was. So then we get the conclusion of that, and then we cut back to Firecracker. She throws out her Jesus toy, and Homelander's there, and he hits her with "How's sex with my father," which was good. And she gives a hell of a speech to him. I thought she sold him. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wow, she sold him. And then we get the final scene of her killing or him killing her. What did you think of that whole final interaction?
Dude, I thought she sold him on like not killing her, because she was like kind of spitting game to him, and
Yeah,
like I thought it was really pulling on his heartstrings, and I was like, oh, she might have him right here, just with she's always been from like day one such a like ride or die for him, and he's just
hmm,
never cared, which is so crazy, especially for Homelander, because all he does is like crave attention, and for this person to be like kind of kissing his ass all the time, and then
yeah.
to like just not care. And I thought that was kind of weird that Homelander never really showed her appreciation when he's like craved attention his whole life.
I agree with that. But then I think it plays to the dynamic of he craves attention from like people he looks up to or respects, like Stan Edgar, the former CEO, Soldier Boy, even Butcher. I feel like for people he doesn't respect, he doesn't want that fake. He wants like that real. So that was a interesting dynamic, and I think maybe part of it is Soldier. Now that he's locked in with Soldier Boy, he's got Soldier Boy's like love and respect. He doesn't need anybody else, so he
That
can body her.
that's true. That's actually a dangerous thing now that I think about it, because he's
Yeah,
got his father's love and like care when he's never had any sort of parent figure in his life. So now that he has
100.
that, he's really just on a whole different level, and this guy already thinks he's God. So it's going to
Yeah,
be a crazy next 3 episodes, because there's going to be nothing that can really get in this guy's way, essentially.
100%. The What do you think of her actual death? I saw some people complaining that it was too easy to kill Soup. I have some thoughts, but I want to hear. What do you think of her death?
Hmm. I really don't know. I really don't have like anything too crazy to say. I thought it was um I don't know, really quick, and especially for having her have like a 20-minute story earlier this episode. It's just like boom, real quick, she's dead, and that's that. But I really didn't have like anything crazy about it.
Yeah, because I saw people complaining about it, but at least my logic, like how I put it together, is just Soldier Boy so powerful that he could just
Yeah,
put her through the thing.
and especially for this person that really doesn't have any
Yeah,
powers. Like, is she really a
exactly.
soup? Like, she's can snap her finger and maybe make some sparklers or something.
Yeah, her. I saw a funny thing someone pointed out, and it is a good point that she got killed by the left wing of
Oh, no
of
way! That's
the.
true. I didn't even think about that. That is so
Yeah,
funny.
that was definitely on purpose, a little parallel, but that was interesting. So then the episode ends. We have 3 episodes left, 3 hours. I looked at the run times; they're a little over an hour each, like an hour 3 minutes. So where do we go from here? 3 episodes left of the boys. What do you think is gonna happen these next couple episodes.
Wow. Obviously, it has to be next episode just with what we have left. They have to go. It's got to be all about Bombsight next episode. And have they mentioned that Bombsight has taken V1? They know he has it, but has he taken it? And is he immortal essentially too? Because why would he be holding on to it and not at least have already taken some or have had some in the past?
That's a good point. I don't think they've mentioned that he's taken it, but I'm assuming, to your point, he must have. If he hasn't, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, and it's got to be, I imagine my thoughts are probably next episode. It's both of them, almost like what we saw in the previous episode, where it's going to be Homelander and Soldier Boy, and then the boys going to the same place, and they're probably going to encounter each other. And then I think that's where your theory comes into play of like them pretty much prepping and Frenchie to die. That's probably where there's going to be a sacrifice, and then it's just got to speed up like crazy. I really don't know how they defeat Homelander at this point with Soldier Boy being on his side. I truly don't know.
I don't know either, because I've said this for a while now. I think Homelander gets V1. I think he gets it and takes it. And so in my head, this is how I have it projected 3 episodes left. This next episode, they find Bombsight, Soldier or Homelander gets the V1. And by the end of the episode, maybe the boys are there. He takes it. And I don't know if it'll be the end of next episode. And again, I know nothing. By the way, if anybody's watching, there apparently are leaks online of the final episodes. I have no idea. I'm avoiding them at all costs, but just be careful out there. My theory is he gets the V1 at this episode, and either end of this episode or episode 7. It just shows how powerful he is with the V1. He's out there bodying people. And then to your point, I think he gets it. I don't know how they stop him at that point. Got to be maybe someone on the boys takes the V1, Ryan, the virus. I just don't know if he does get the V1, how they stop him. So maybe he doesn't, because it's just I truly don't know where they're going to go with 3 episodes left.
Now that you were saying that, I was just thinking of a different theory. So along the lines of him getting V1, I think that could very well be a possibility of next episode. And then, like you said, maybe the following episode, whether it's episode 7 or 8, where you're gonna see him being just like destroying everything and just creating absolute mayhem and not giving a damn about anything anymore because he knows he's completely untouchable. And I think that might throw Soldier Boy off and then kind of create a bad relationship there again of seeing like he's getting completely out of control, and then maybe Soldier Boy uses his blast to take his powers away. I don't know. I don't know if it works with V1 Soldier Boy's ability, but maybe since he has V1 in his blood already, that's like kind of my only thought process.
That is the other out. It is Soldier Boy blasting him. That is the one other hope. So that's a good point. Back to like the pacing issues. The only way this season can really hit, in my opinion, is if these last couple episodes are bangers.
Absolutely.
We need like an invincible run, because honestly, since episode 1, there hasn't been a great episode, in my opinion. There's been very good episodes, but nothing great.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think you're absolutely right with that take, because especially coming off of Invincible with just not even their season or the end of their show, just having such a strong season, and the boys has had such strong seasons throughout their whole show, and I feel like there's been a lot of hype around season 5 and of course it coming to an end, that it's really been slow the past 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, a lot of people think the ending is going to be bad, which
I really hope not.
And to a point, maybe a future video, I was having this talk with someone. How many shows have had great endings? And it's honestly pretty rare.
That's true.
When I was going through the list, which is sad, but I hope that's not the case. There was a quote Anthony Starr had that I saw today. He was talking about the Stranger Things finale or season,
Uh huh.
the final season. Did you watch Stranger Things?
No, I never really got into it.
Gotcha. So he was criticizing that no one died in the final season, and that
Damn.
was a criticism. So that just makes me think these next three episodes. And the creator said it before. I think we're due. We're gonna get some major deaths soon.
We have to. Like we literally have to with
Yeah.
three episodes left. And I really want to see how they bring in Marie Monroe because they have to. There's no way that you have all the Gen V and hype up her as this super strong soup and like kind of the only person that could combat Homelander and Soldier Boy with power. And
Mhm.
they've just mentioned her here and there, but she hasn't showed up or either has anyone else from Gen V. And I'd be kind of disappointed if they didn't bring in anybody from Gen V and see them on screen fighting with the
That
boys.
that's a great point. I don't know when you were talking. I just have a theory in my head. This is how they're gonna introduce Marie. Is
Uh huh.
someone's one of the main characters is gonna die or be on the verge of death, and she's gonna come in and use her power that we saw in Gen V and bring him back to life.
Damn, that's
I could see
actually
that.
I could see that happening for sure. Imagine with like Huey or like a death that's really gonna hit. Like MM's
Yeah.
death would hit, but I feel like Huey's or Butcher's
Huey's the
might
guy
hit.
that comes in my head with Marie showing up. Starlight brings her in and
Yes.
saves. Maybe we're onto something. I wanted to bring up. Did I don't think we talked about it last week. Did you see like Gen V was officially canceled?
No.
So the rest of they canceled Gen V. There's no more. That was the last season.
Oh, I thought that was
Um,
it anyway. I didn't realize they were
well,
planning on doing another one.
so that was my thoughts too. A lot of people were like in an uproar about it, but I honestly I thought that was the end. Like it was just support for the boys. They ended at a good spot, and I've seen different theories. I've talked to different people. One of my friends thinks it was just canceled because he thinks they're gonna die in this, like in these next couple episodes. So obviously
Uh
there's
huh.
not gonna be more Gen V. Mine is just I don't think they had intention after this. I saw a guy breaking down a video online. I wish you can shut him out, but I don't. He had more insight onto it. Gen V was supposed to be longer, but when the Andre character died, they had to rewrite all of season two, and they used apparently future storylines. Like Godolkin was supposed to be like the main villain throughout,
Uh huh.
and they put it all in this season. I don't know how true that all is, but it was an interesting theory. I just think that it was just support for the boys, and the thing that you brought up that I'm really interested in is, are we going to see them these next three episodes? I feel like we have to.
Yeah, I feel like it would be such a huge letdown. Especially, I really enjoyed Gen V. I liked it a lot,
Yeah,
so I'd be kind of let down if they didn't tie it into this final season because they've kind of hyped up all these characters so much that if they didn't show up, it'd be pretty depressing to be honest to not tie them in. And one other thing, I had a question for you. You mentioned Andre's character dying in Gen V. Are you saying did the actor die?
yeah. Did you not know that?
No, I didn't. I figured some, and I didn't look it up. I didn't, obviously, I thought about it, but I didn't, I guess, care to think about it too much further after that. But I was like, his death was so abrupt that either
Yeah,
in real life he got into some big, like, legal issues or that happened. I didn't realize he actually passed away. RIP.
interesting. Because R.I.P. Because I think that's the thing of you binging, catching up, so you didn't like get the storylines where they were all coming out.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I guess they wrote all of season two, and then he sadly passed away in I think a motorcycle accident,
Jeez.
and so they had to rewrite it all. And I felt like they did his character justice, but it is they had to change everything because obviously he was a big part of it.
Yeah, that throws a huge curveball, especially, yeah, with him being the one of the main characters, and especially with his dad being essentially a main character in season two and being featured in season one, but he wasn't super important as he became in
Yeah.
season two. Do you think?
So
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. Do you think Monroe or Marie Monroe is gonna do something? I know we talked about it on a previous episode where she's gonna do something with the the V in their blood. Do you think that could be a thing as well? With
Ooh, that's a good. That's maybe something with the V1 especially.
yeah,
That's a great little idea right there.
to try
Hmm.
to, I don't even know if you could try to take it out or separate the V from the blood. I don't know how any of that would work. But just trying to get
But
creative on how they could stop this.
well, so here's the dilemma as well. If you're a boys watcher, but you never watched Gen V,
Hmm.
if she shows up and does some major shit that changes everything, are you going to be super confused?
That's true too. I feel like with how well they tied, I didn't realize how well Gen V tied into the boys because I feel like a lot of spin-offs kind of just milk the name and that they're a spin-off of
Yeah.
X popular show, but they don't tie like super well into the story, especially with the main characters from the main show. But I think
Hmm.
this spin-off did a really good job of like kind of filling this gap in between seasons of what's going on in that world.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it's kind of. I think the directors are kind of banking on people watching Gen V. Would be my opinion.
So if I had to bet money, I don't think she does anything major. I
Really?
think I don't think they make it anything big. I think she'll have something minor. Like I said, I think maybe like bringing him back to life theory, but I don't think she will be a reason why they defeat Homelander.
Damn, really? I feel
Yeah.
like I don't see a world where they don't bring her in for something like that. Just with how much hype that she got in Gen V of like you're the Odessa program, you're one of the strongest
Mm.
soups and this and that, and have this super rare power that not too many soups have to not
I
use her.
I think they should because it makes sense of the story. I just don't think they will because of the side character, the spin-off thing.
That's fair. I could definitely see a world where that happens. I'd be
Yeah.
disappointed, but I could see it happening.
We'll see. We have literally
Or
have 3 hours left of the boys' universe,
that's
so
actually crazy. Or did you hear
it
that
is
they're
crazy.
doing another spin-off, but I think it's of like the uprise of Vought.
Yeah, so they're doing Soldier Boy when he's young.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, so it's gonna be I think like the first iteration of the seven.
That's cool. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, so I also wanted to bring up this point. Do you think Soldier Boy was originally planned to be this involved in the final season?
Ooh, I want to go with no, and I feel like the actor kind of carried the character, and they were like, "Shit, we need more of this guy on screen." I could
I
definitely see
100% agree.
that being the case.
Yeah, I think he was so well loved in season three that they figured out a way to bring him back and make him a main character.
But do you think this is where a a company sells out, and now they're bringing back this character, even though in their original story for this show, it would
Mm.
have ended better because they already had it written out, planned way in advance. But now they ran an audible and threw in Soldier Boy because he's so loved for views and for
Yeah,
ratings that now they twisted their whole story just to include this character and it screws the ending.
I could see it a little bit. I know I'm on I'm on the boys algorithm. I've been seeing a lot of hate about this season of the boys, and a big piece of it is Soldier Boy saying how much screen time he has. I personally love it because I love the character,
Uh huh.
but I could definitely see it affect the ending because I don't think he was planned for all this, and I think the actor's just murdering it, and everybody loves him on screen, so they're making him a mainstay, which we'll see on the ending. We'll we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I really hope it's good, man. I'd be so disappointed if it was bad.
Yeah, no, I would be too. I've been seeing things that people saying the boys peaked in season one or the boys peaked in season three. Might have been three, but it all depends on
Yeah,
this ending.
yeah, that's true. We'll see. It
Yeah, we'll
peaks
see.
season
The
5, episode 1.
yeah, he is. I know Soldier Boy is not a big character in the comics. I'm pretty sure.
Really? I would have figured he would have been pretty popular. Maybe not as popular as he is now with the actor just crushing it, but
Yeah. So we'll see. Any other final thoughts on the boys?
no, that's about it for me. I think we covered everything. Excited to see what they do. It really has to speed up quite a bit. Hope it
Yeah.
turns out well.
If next week's episode, if it's a slow pace like we've gotten,
Oh no,
I'm gonna be officially worried.
me too. Because what do you do in 2 hours that like
Yeah.
you've led up to this point for 5 seasons now? If you don't finish strong and kind of
Hmm.
hyped up this whole take down Homelander thing for 5 seasons, and if it ends bad, sheesh.
100%. So let us know in the comments thoughts, theories. What is going to happen in these last 3 episodes? Do you agree? Is the pacing a problem? Um, and who do you think dies? That's what I would love to know in the comments. Who do you think makes it out?
No comic book spoilers again, please.
Please. Even though I know some of the comic book stuff, I really don't think they're going to go down that path.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'll be intrigued though. So can't wait to see it. So the last thing, quick little talk.
Uh-huh.
We had some good reactions to some of our Maul content. Tough Maul came out on Monday. There's been a lot of stuff happened since, but general, what did you think of the most recent Maul episodes? Did you enjoy them?
I did really enjoy them. I thought
Mm-hmm.
the show's really it went above my expectations. Like I had high hopes for just seeing a show revolving around Maul, but I think they're crushing it in like a way that I didn't think that they would.
Yeah, no, I agree. There was the unreal fight scene with him and the two Inquisitors, and the way they shoot the action and the animation, I think is sick. It's so visually appealing.
Dude, it looks so good. All the colors, the background, and just even like the close-ups of Maul's face, it looks like it's like painted on. I don't know. It just everything is so visually pleasing, and I love the sounds of like just the lightsabers when they're fighting.
Yeah.
It's just so nostalgic and it sounds so good.
There was only one little thing I didn't like about this episode. I get why they did it, and it was, I don't know the best way to say this, but Maul was kind of a bitch for a little period of it. Like I didn't like seeing Maul as vulnerable. I get why they did it because like you get attached to the character, but like he was in the sewer, his leg was messed up, and he just got beat, and he's having like these deep thoughts. I think he was like crying, and I picture Maul as the absolute savage, like no emotion, strategic plan. So seeing that, it makes you like get attached to the character more, but sometimes I don't like seeing my characters weak.
Yeah.
An example of that is the new Predator movie that came out, Predator Badlands. I'm a diehard Predator
Mm-hmm.
fan, and he was the main character. And you see him get beat up and lose, and it like threw me off because I'm like, I want to see the Predator just be the absolute savage alpha. So like that was the only thing I didn't love this episode, but overall, there's finales next week. I think we're gonna have a special guest for that.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm excited to lock into that.
And that one other thing with Maul, like that, the sewer scene, I actually really liked it with all the flashbacks, and I love the one of Obi-Wan where you see him jump at him with like the green lightsaber, where Maul first gets cut in half, and then going
Mhm.
through his brother dying, and just seeing all these things, and then him just getting like enraged in the
Mhm.
sphere, and it really just pushes the dark side and like why he's so strong with the dark side is because he just kind of uses this as anger and fear and rage,
Yep.
and it builds up, and that's kind of what makes him stronger. I thought that was cool, all the little flashbacks.
Yeah, no, that is true. Like I said, I think it's good for the character. It just threw me off for a second. The I know the Crimson Dawn's a big thing. That was like the end of the episode. I'm not
Uh-huh.
too familiar with the lore of the Crimson Dawn, so I'm intrigued to see where they go in this finale. I feel like we're due for some big Inquisitor battle, which I'm excited for.
Absolutely, because I think the Inquisitors fighting Darth Maul, especially if they both have double-bladed lightsabers, I think
Mhm.
that's gonna be sick. And I thought even the bridge scene where they were all like kind of trapped on the bridge, that was super
Yeah,
cool. and then seeing it gave me like a flashback of Phantom Menace, where Maul was like kind of jumping from bridge to bridge and like jumping and like two people chasing him, and
Yeah,
reminded me so much of the final fight in Phantom Menace.
100%. I don't know, random thought. Is there any Jedi, like big Jedi, that use the double saber? I know there's
No.
got to be like the lore, but
The
I feel like
only
it's such an advantage.
absolutely, because hey, you could use one if you only wanted to fight with one,
Yeah.
but if you need two, you just click the button, and you got two. The only person that's remotely close that I can think of that's a big character is Ahsoka, but she just uses two separate
Yeah,
lightsabers, but not like a dual blade.
because something you talked about the colors. I love when Maul, when there's a red lightsaber versus a blue or a green. That just like so pops so visually.
It
So when you
does.
get Maul versus Inquisitors, when it's red on red, obviously it still looks cool. But I love that color contrast with
Yeah,
the
no,
lightsaber.
you're right. It doesn't hit as hard as seeing
Mm,
versus a blue or green lightsaber. I just think it's cool to see red on red. You typically don't see red on red
true, true.
in the Star Wars world.
Random question,
Uh huh.
because I've been in the market for a while. If you can own one lightsaber, like you can have one at your house,
Yeah.
who's what saber would you get?
Damn, that's a really good question. Oh, part of me wants to say Darth Maul. I want to say it's kind of a weird one, but Count Dooku's like
The
curved
curve.
one. It's just so unique, and I feel like as soon as you see it, I feel like anybody that remotely knows Star Wars sees that lightsaber and they kind of know exactly whose it is.
That's a great pull. Because you're absolutely right. It is one of the most unique hilts out of all of them.
And I feel like it would actually be comfortable to kind of hold in your hand. Swing this thing around.
That's true. For me, I've been wanting to buy one honestly since high school. I almost bought one. I was in Florida a couple weeks ago, and I was in Disney Springs, and they had like a Star Wars store, but they didn't have the one I wanted. I want a Obi-Wan one. Obi-Wan's my favorite character,
Yeah.
and I love his saber, like the brown and the black. I always love that one.
And
So
his kind of has like the three rings up by the top.
yep. And I will be an owner one day. I didn't realize how expensive some of those are,
Yeah.
but I will be dropping a bag to have an Obi-Wan lightsaber.
Know what we have to do one time? Because I really want one too. I think it would be nice just to have hung up, whether it's in the background of the podcast or
Yeah.
just to own. We gotta go to Disney and go to like the Star Wars universe, and they have, I don't know if you've seen it, where you go into like you pay extra and you go in and you guys like craft your own, and
Yeah.
you pick all the pieces, the kyber crystal, or what color you want it, and you literally craft every part of it. I think like the experience is super cool. I would want to do it for the experience, and then you get to take your own lightsaber. I think that would be so dope.
Book it. We're doing it. You'll see clips of
Vlog
this
coming
hopefully
soon.
within the year. Vlog coming soon. We're doing it. Because I've been dying to go to Star Wars Land. I haven't been, and I'm dying to go.
Me too. My brother just went and he was showing me videos and everything, and it is so sick, dude. It looks surreal. Like it literally looks like you're standing in the Star Wars universe on a spaceship. Just some of the pictures that he showed me. I can't wait to go see it in person.
So we got to set this up one time when I'm down there. Hopefully soon. We'll do a little trip to Orlando.
Dude, I'd actually love to do that, and it's a non-negotiable is we have to go into the Star Wars universe and build a lightsaber.
Absolutely. And drink blue milk.
Oh,
So those.
oh, 100%. And even we might have to do, I think in Star Wars it's called spice is like their main drug. We got to find some spice somewhere.
That'd be funny. We walk around like asking the workers, where can we get some
Spice,
spice?
dude, that would actually be hilarious. I wonder if anybody like takes their job that serious or just knows about Star Wars lore like that. That'd be
Yeah.
funny.
That would be. That's future content on the way. Any other final thoughts, Maul, boys? Anything with the pod before we send it off?
No, actually, I didn't even realize Maul's ending next week is their finale.
Yeah.
Damn. How many
So
seasons do you think they're gonna go? Like, that's just my last final thought for you.
I don't know the official. Sam said to me he looked it up and I think he said it's 2 seasons.
Really? I kind
Yeah,
of
so
was hoping it would go a little bit longer. Clone Wars went for like 20 years.
yeah, the I know I think it's the highest rated animated Star Wars they've put out. I think it's got like high ratings.
Hmm.
But I know they're running in like a time gap of he shows up in Rebels at some point.
Yep.
So I don't know where that is chronologically. And then I know he has a quick cameo in the Solo movie. So they have like a set deadline that they're gonna have to meet, so they can't just create new storylines. So I don't know how they'll wrap it up.
Yeah, because I think we're about to fall into the Solo cameo
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's where they said the whatever I can't even
Crimson
think.
Dawn.
Yeah, the Crimson Dawn because I think they mentioned that in Solo, or at least
Yeah.
mention the name and that Maul's leading it. So
So that
I
makes sense.
I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot with doing the Rebels. Do you think it was their plan to have a Maul show before they created that?
Absolutely not. I think he was so loved in Rebels that they were like, we should do Maul in between.
Yeah,
And it was a great idea.
no, for sure. Really cool era to have Maul in because you would never picture Maul from obviously watching Phantom Menace to be in
Mhm.
the Empire or be fighting alongside Inquisitors and be in the
Yeah,
era of the Empire.
that is true. Also, side note, Mandalorian and Grogu comes out in I think 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
So expect a review for that on here, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, that
We
should be
haven't
good.
I think that'll be our first official movie review.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any huge releases in between.
Yeah, then I'm seeing I saw, I saw the Michael Jackson movie this last week. I think next week the Mortal Kombat movie comes out, but I think the first big one will be uh, Mandalorian. Looking
Yeah,
forward to that.
that'll be exciting. I got one last thing that just sparked my interest. Do you think we see a Maul and Darth Vader fight?
So I had this debate with I think Sam. I don't, but we
Damn.
should. If I was Palpatine and I knew Maul was alive, right, I
Hmm.
would send my top dog to go take him out. I actually was having this talk with Sam and Jack. But Jack made the point, and it was a really good one, that throughout the Clone Wars and everything, Palpatine doesn't view Maul as a threat at all. Like he even when they fought in the Clone Wars, like I didn't watch Clone Wars, I just watched like the recaps and stuff.
Yeah.
He absolutely bodied him, and he was just like toying with him.
Uh huh.
So he probably doesn't see him as a major threat, so he can still send Inquisitors. So I don't think we see a Vader scene because in theory, if we did, Vader should body him.
Yeah, for sure. My only thing that I was thinking about is like they might not show it because kind of goes. I could imagine Maul and Vader having a really like deep conversation like while they're fighting of like Maul trying
True.
to tell him that Palpatine really doesn't care about you. He's gonna screw you over. It's all about like him and his plan. You're just like a pawn on his chessboard. And I could imagine them like going back and forth and Maul trying to sway Darth Vader against Palpatine.
That's a great point. Now that makes me feel like I could see that happening. And my theory is if it does happen, they would end in some sort of way like Obi-Wan, the show where he they one of them gets away. Like
Yeah,
one of them thinks the other's defeated and he gets away. So I hope it happens. I really do.
I think it
I
would be
don't know if
so
it will.
cool to see. The only thing why I don't think it will happen now that you brought up that point is because it's just going to screw up the rest of the story like of Star Wars that we already know. Cuz how can you
Yeah.
tie this in and now Darth Vader's just going to go back to like the original trilogy Darth Vader where there's no like tension between them obviously until the end.
Yeah. No, that's true. Because yeah, because when we at least when we meet him in New Hope, he's full on no doubt.
Ride or die.
Yeah, exactly. So that is interesting. I don't think it'll ever happen, but that Maul and Obi-Wan scene in Rebels, I'd kill for that in live action. But I don't see a
Dude,
world where we get that.
yeah, unfortunately not. It would be so good though. It'd be such like
Yeah.
a great way to like wrap the bow on Darth Maul and his whole run through Star Wars.
hmm But so far, show's been great. I actually can't wait for Mondays. It's a nice. I like your shows coming out on Mondays. Like you started your week and you're like, oh, I get to watch some Maul.
Exactly. No, it is a great way to start the week for sure.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Uh, we want to hear your Maul thoughts as well. Drop them below. Next week, we will be doing a Maul finale review, I think with our special guest, Sam. And then we will be breaking down The Boys episode 6. Hopefully, it's a banger.
I really hope so.
And that is it for now. And we have a couple more weeks of The Boys, and then we'll probably start doing some other content. But if you tuned in all the way to the end, trust me, we really appreciate you. And hit the subscribe button. Join the community.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. If you guys stuck it out, you are a real one. We want to hear all your thoughts on the boys and what's to come. And then Maul, are you guys enjoying it as much as we are? We're super excited for the finale. And thank you guys again.